Hi, everyone. Happy Wednesday. It's another edition of 12 Days of Recruiting with the Staffing Shark, Richard Rasner, and me, Kirsten Greggs, the Trap Recruiter. Today's very special guest is coming to us all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, where there is a rain and snow mix. It's Miss K. Gravesande.
Yes.
Do not mispronounce it because that is inappropriate. Kay, please introduce us to you.
Well, thank you for having me. First and foremost, I am in Cincinnati, and it is ugly, mucky, all that jazz out here. I am the founder of Career K LLC, which my business focuses on teaching. It's always weird for me to say that. I'm like, I'm not really a teacher, like, classically trained, but I am out there teaching our students in high school and college and even our professionals on business etiquette. So in the short term, I say I kind of teach you how to be a professional, because our schools don't do that. Our schools are really good at teaching you how to do something. You go to school to be an accountant or a teacher or get your MBA or something of that nature, but then you get thrown into the business world and you're not really sure how to have a proper conversation or how to resolve conflict with your coworker that you really just don't like, or, literally a plethora of other things. And so that is where I have found my niche, and it's super cool. And it's been a really fun ride. I do lots of workshops and seminars and forums, and really get to connect with some cool folks from age 13 up to age 55, and dive into how do we kind of just navigate this space. And it's been awesome. So thank you for having me.
I love it. So you work with a wide range demographic age-wise. What's your favorite age group?
Oh, that one's hard because everyone is different, right? Like the younger crew, of course, my high schoolers, they are first really uninterested. They're like, because usually I'm talking to them about like their work study program, right? And so they're kind of like, I'm just doing this because I have to. But it's kind of cool when you get like 2 out of the class that understand like, well, this kind of has a big impact, right? Like you're going and you're representing not only yourself, but the whole school. So if you go into this organization and you're texting, or, I know it seems boring because they're like, hey, we need you to make 100 copies. And you're like, okay, right? Everybody can make copies. Why do I have to do that? Or I don't want to do that. Or you're kind of lipping off, or you're slacking and you're like, what time is it? I'm just ready to go. That's not only a reflection of your behavior, but that's a reflection of your school. And that's not something that you want to kind of leave behind. And so if you can get just 2 kids to understand that importance, it's kind of like, yes. So I like high schoolers, but then I like adults as well, because adults, the thing with us is we can be kind of set in our ways. And so I have fun figuring out like workshops that I can do with adults to kind of help them come around on their own versus me just kind of telling them things. So that one's also kind of cool. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite.
Nice.
I like it. They're all your favorite.
They're all my favorites, because we all have college kids too. They all have their pluses and minuses. And of course I definitely did not go to school for teaching. So it's just interesting to kind of figure out how do you reach certain audiences is what I think I have found the most intriguing about it.
So you're very passionate about it.
I am. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like we're like,
yeah.
It's so fun.
I love your passion for it. It's clearly, aligned with your purpose. How did you fall into this?
Well, I actually have an HR background.
Okay.
So I've been balancing working full time in HR and doing this up until October of this year is when I left my full time HR career. And I have been doing both for a very long time. But last year I had a colleague of mine who said, since you're in HR, would you mind coming and talking to my high school kids about their work study program? So that's where this all kind of started snowballing. Because before that, I had actually done one-on-one career coaching. And when I did my first talk, I loved it. Like, I was like, this is fun. And it just kind of blossomed from there. I did the one talk, and then that introduced me to other talks. And then I kind of was like, I think I'm going to take Career K in a different direction. And it really has just kind of grown because I have found a new passion in it. And it's been really, really cool. And it's just crazy. It's crazy how things work out, because I never ever started doing, it was not like I'm gonna do that, but it's like, you know what, I am gonna do that now because I really like it, and having that HR background really helps.
All right, Rich, what questions do you have?
Yes. What do you tell the high school kids or the junior high for career options? How do you open it and break it to them?
Well, I'm a huge advocate of, you don't have to go to college. And I know, I'm sorry, folks that just cringed on that. I'm sorry.
No, that's not bad advice. Everybody,
I love it. Open book.
Everybody's not cut out for college.
It is. I hate that, like, and I was never once told about entrepreneurship in my journey, ever. Like, no one ever mentioned to me when I was growing up that, like, there's another option out there, right? You don't have to go to college. You can think about being an entrepreneur. That's a thing. What is that thing? Well, this is what it is. Being an entrepreneur means X, Y, Z. There's like nobody ever mentioned that to me. And so now I'm someone that's like, there's an option of entrepreneurship. What is it? It's this, and this is what it means. And I'm not telling you it's an easy option by any means necessary, but it's an option for you. And, college could certainly be your role. Not taking it off the table for you. But here's the other options. There's also gig economy for people who need some flexibility. Like, I like to be very transparent and give people all of the different options. You might be great at trade work. You may love, like, you might be you might be a mechanic, and that's totally okay, right? You might be a hairstylist or a personal wardrobe stylist. Like, there's all these different options. And so, like, one of my values that I built into my company is happiness. Because I think, as I have worked with so many professionals, we have a huge population of people that work but are freaking miserable.
Amen.
Exactly.
Like, literally, they're going to work, they're waking up every day, they're clocking in, and they hate their life. And that is unfortunate. And so I'm also like, do what's going to make you happy. If that means you're going to be an artist, be an artist. If that means you're going to be a mom, be a mom, be a wife, or be a bomb mom and wife or husband or whatever. But, like, we have to start bringing happiness also into our career choices, whatever that may be. And so, like, that's also part of the reason I stopped career coaching. I don't really like one-on-one career coaching. I can do it because I'm in HR. I know what it is. I can write resumes blindly, but I don't really like it. I love talking to people. Like, I connect with people. It's great meeting them. So I'm like, why am I going to keep putting my energy into something that I can do, but I don't really like it? I love being in front of my audiences. That's where my energy should be. So it's one of those, teaching our generations that are coming up, just because you're good at it doesn't mean that that's what you should be doing, right? Let's find the balance between the two. What are you good at? What do you like to do as well? And then what makes you money? And let's go that way. So I talk a lot when I talk to the kids about, let's go. And of course, I know your mom, and I'm sorry, but your mom and dad might not like it if you don't go to college. And I'm not going to fight that battle. But I don't want to send you down a path of misery, because I went to college and I now have debt. So I'm not going to send any more kids down that path if that's not for you. And then I talk to, also about, there's a next step there about how to choose the right college for you, because that's a whole nother situation. So there's a lot built into it.
There is. And what I like about it is, like, especially with me, light industrial, I push trade schools 90% because they pay for education. You come out, you're debt free, and you're making more money than a college educated person. It's like a win-win. So, and colleges don't like that, but at the end of the day, we have to show options for people. And I think school gives us one thing. It's always school. Well, there's other options. And I'm glad you're going to school to break that ice, because we've all had school counselors and they all say same thing. Get academic degree, and then you go to college, and then you go for your master's. And then before you know it, you're 6 figures in debt. And then where do you go from there?
And you don't make 6 figures to pay it back. So
no,
what did I do this for?
But even if you did, 6 figures is not enough to pay back debt. I mean, you still have to live. You can't put all your money into your
That's why they have a 20-year plan, right?
I know one of my bestest friends is a pharmacist, and it cost her $300,000 to go get her pharmacy degree. So she's a doctor, right? And it cost her $300,000 to go get her pharmacy degree. And she is one of the few that isn't married right now or doesn't have kids. So she has had to pay like $3,000 a month in student loan debt. How many people can pay $3,000 a month in student loan debt just to start chunking down that $300,000 bill that she owes to go get that doctorate? And she still owes it, right? It's not gone. But think about that logically. So for me to be a doctor, right, to go get my pharmacy degree, I'm racking up literally hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt. And then to even try to pay it back, let's assume that I'm in this situation, but in my case, I'm married with kids, so I couldn't possibly even think to pay $300 or $3,000 a month. I'm never paying that back.
Exactly. Or you become an electrician or a plumber making $30 to $40 an hour with no debt.
That's why I'm like, and again, entrepreneurship was never mentioned to me. Why are we not teaching people that they don't have to actually work for anybody? There's an option out there.
Yeah, it's what you said. It's what you
work for yourself.
It's what you both keep saying. We were not, well, my generation, Rich's generation, were not taught choices. We were not taught options. We were siloed and we were tracked.
Yep.
Like if you were smart, you did these things. If you were handy, you did something else.
That's right.
You kind of hadn't shown where you were going to go, you got the option to try it, to try some other things. And to be quite honest, I wish I had the option to take those business classes when I was in high school, because they would have better prepared me for actual life. Now, we had to learn how to type. So we all took keyboarding, which was we did. We learned how to type on a computer, on a keyboard.
Yes.
We had to do that. But, the business classes were technically, the ones that did get to do the work study and got to do those other things. Now, I was fortunate that my mother worked inside of an office, and she used to take me to work with her. Like I would take the day off. And I did. And she was in finance. So like I knew how to do Excel spreadsheets when I got out of college, even though when I was in college, that wasn't part of the program. Like I knew how to do PowerPoint presentations.
Yes.
I knew how to use, I'm going to date myself. Jeez. I'm not even going to say what word processing. I'm not doing this to myself today.
Shorthand.
How rude. You're older than I am. But I wish there were more people like UK that do have the ability to talk to the youth, to say like, you have options here, and here they are.
Thank you. And that is my ultimate goal, is to connect with as many people as I can, and to provide the resources as well, to say, all right, we talked about it. I gave it to you. Now what? Because that's also, there's a strategic plan here, right? So after we have this talk and I say all these things, you're still in a situation where you go, okay, now what do I do? Right? I don't want to go to college, but now what? All right, here's now what? You have this resource and this resource and this resource. That is my, that's kind of the ultimate goal. That's kind of what the next steps for what I'm doing in 2021 are, is I'm working with companies to have these programs and these resources available, so I can say, here's what, because we're not going to be able to change these narratives without kind of giving direction, because let's be honest, our students, I wasn't that smart. to be able to figure everything out. Sometimes you got to hand things to people, and that's okay. Because that's also like, that's one of the major things that I say when I'm talking to college kids is we also need to change the narrative that you have to have things figured out when you graduate. I know a lot of people at my age, I'm 30, that don't have things figured out. And that's, so why are we expecting you to have it figured out at 21? You don't have to have it figured out at 21. Even though you just went and paid for a degree that says you should have it figured out, you don't have to have it figured out. So we got to take that pressure up off of your shoulders, right? We have all this, it's like, I don't know why this stuff is so backwards. We are forcing these kids, and I was one of them, to think you are supposed to know what you're going to do. What are you going to go do? Go get your job. You just paid for this degree. Go get your job as an accountant now. You have an accounting degree, you have a teaching degree, you have a whatever degree. Go be that. And then they get out here and they're like, I actually don't like this. I don't like doing this.
Half the people don't even follow their degree, you know? And
I did it.
And I always say this, you know, being the oldest on the show, here we go, that, you know what, life is going to take you in different turns. You're never going to figure it out, because when you figure it out, something's going to twist you a different way. So,
and that's it. And that's one of the reasons, like I said, when I talk to my college students, I'm like, give yourself grace. And, you know, if you're in this path and you're in this college path, that's awesome. That's an accomplishment. But you're going to give yourself a little time to wiggle, because it's hard. This whole transition, your 20s are rough. Okay. They're just rough. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. It's rough. You're going to probably go through some love stuff in this era. You might go through some kids stuff in this era. You might go through some house stuff. These 20s are loaded. So give yourself, they're loaded. Give yourself some wiggle room, because if you're thinking like I was thinking, I got to have it all figured out by 21. And then I got older and I was like, I got to have it all figured out by 25. And then I got a little bit more older, and now I was like, I got to all have figured out by 30, and I am 30. And I'm like, why do I keep doing this? This is stupid. Okay, I gotta quit telling myself I gotta have it all figured out. I have finally hit that point.
There you go. I gotta ask you a question.
I gotta have it all figured out.
With the students you work with, and I see this in career fairs, I'm sure KG does too. When they approach me to give me their resume, they look down. They never do eye contact anymore because they're so used to their phone.
Yes.
I found out as students right now, they don't know what the human connection and how to talk to each other eye to eye. Do you see that a lot?
I do. And I actually work with the disability population. And so one of the things that I took from working with our disabled population, because fun fact, this is in Cincinnati, so I won't generalize this, but in Cincinnati, 89% of our disabled population that could be employed is unemployed right now. Yeah, it's a very, very heartbreaking statistic. So I'm working on changing that. That's also part of what Kay is doing right now, is working on getting that down. But what I teach them, because a lot of like people with autism or Asperger's, they have a hard time with eye contact, right? And so a lot of things that we work on is, you don't have to look at me here. You can look at me here, right? You can look here. You can look past me. And that's something I tell our students. You don't have to look at someone in the eye, because it can be uncomfortable. You can be intimidated. People are different. You know, I know recruiters usually have a stigma that they can be like forceful, or, you know, they can be quick, they can be whatever. And so if you don't want to look someone in the eye for whatever reason you got going on, fine, I'm not your therapist. Look past the eye, look at their ear, look at their head, but at least get your head up a little bit. Just get it up for me, so that I can see that you're interested. You know, that's all I'm shooting for. That's my goal. Just get your head up.
Wow. Yep.
All right. Man, I'm loving this. Now I've got two more you know, on topic professional questions.
I love it
to ask you, because I think you're giving us so much. Like you're giving us so much great stuff, and like I'm gonna have to replay this I don't know how many times, and just make sure I write this down and tell everybody, call Career K when you need X, Y, and Z. She knows what she's doing.
I'm here. Yeah. I'm booked out till like March, but
I love it. After
March, I am booking again. So
okay. So couple things from the recruiting standpoint, and the job agent standpoint, because Rich and
That's
I
right.
are recruiters and job agents as well. So how can we better support the upcoming workforce so that we're not stigmatizing them and putting our own biases and perceived what they should and should not know, should and should not do, should and should not be interested in? How can we better serve our future workforce?
I love that. That's really good. I would say number one is to start by identifying what your biases are. And so to do that, I always do a practice called the Trusted 10, right? That's a super easy practice. But identify kind of where your biases lie, because we all have them. And usually you trust people that are like you, right? Yes. And we think like we think. I think like HR, right? And I'll use the example right now. I just started, and nobody laugh. I just started watching The Office for like the first time ever in my life. I just started binge watching it.
Sure. Okay, time out though. Have you ever seen Office Space, the movie? Mm-mm. Oh no! Now you have to watch that. I've always said that is a must, and I need you to show it to your students, because the ones that are interested in working in an office.
Okay. Office Space. I'm gonna write. Actually, I've heard of it though. I've heard of Office Space. I've never seen it.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, no, that's a must see. Okay, I
just started with The Office, and I only say this because it is incredibly difficult for me to watch The Office from HR, because everything that Michael Scott does is wrong. Killing me. Everything out of his mouth, every action. I'm like, you're a nightmare. You are an HR nightmare. Okay.
Again, same way. So again, dating myself, I watch Friends, and the same thing. I'm like, how did these people keep getting jobs? Like, this is horrible. They're awful. They're awful people.
And I mean, I say that to say, being able to take myself, and that's what I keep trying to do. So I'm watching with my husband, and so I keep trying to take myself out of HR to watch it so I can enjoy the comedy, right? And so when recruiting, try to take yourself out of what you know to think of what they don't know. And I've had to learn how to do this because a lot of my HR background is in manufacturing, right? Okay. And so I have literally had candidates who can't work a computer to do their background check, like legitimately, like you said, career fairs. I meet them at a career fair. I call them. I'm like, hey, we have a great conversation. Can you do your background check? And a week goes by. You still haven't initiated your background check. I'll call them back. And once I dive deeper, I'll find out they can't work a computer. And in my brain, I'm like, it's 2020, right? But back that scope up. I'm in a manufacturing environment. Yes. Everybody can't do that. Everyone doesn't have access to the things, I'm on a computer all day long. So to me, what do you mean you don't have an email? What do you mean you're not, on Instagram all day long? Well, everyone isn't doing that. And so when you're connecting with students, we think showing up for what do you wear is simple. They don't, right? I've literally had to talk about the fact that you should iron your clothes.
Well, that's not just on them. I know some adults who have jobs, who have leadership roles, who don't iron their clothes. So that's a different conversation.
Exactly.
It's crazy to me that I just remember sometimes, because I'm like, I know these things, but they don't. And so recruiting, when you get to that level, it's that, but it's also, I think that's number one. I think number two is being very patient. Because when I work with, I've recruited like interns often, and they feel entitled. I find, because they think okay, well, I got this internship through my school, and so they may have two offers. And I've literally listened to them try to battle me against the other one. And I'm like, oh, sweetheart, this is an intern. This is calm down. You're not there yet, And so there's this, but I have to be patient. I have to give grace, because they're just learning. They're getting their toes wet. And so you either have the ones that are deer in the headlights, scared of everything, or you have the ones that are their peacock feathers are out. is what I kind of call it. And I'm like, oh, you're cute.
Now, did you ever break anybody down and build them back up? See, that's some of my philosophies.
Yeah. That's cute, but no. Let me tell you how this really works. This is where let's get the reality back here.
Exactly.
So, but I'm like I said, huge on transparency though. I love the relationships I build with my students. I always encourage them to ask me honest questions because I'm only here talking to you because I've been where you are. I grew up in a suburb as a young Black girl. So I have a lot of women of color, specifically girls of color, that'll ask questions about like, they don't even ask professional questions. They'll be like, did you, date anybody in high school? And I'm like, not at my school. You want to know the truth? No, because I'm like, that's why you're asking me, right? Because you feel isolated, right? And I know that because I went to a school where there were only like 3 Black girls in my grade, and I was one of them, right? And we're curvier, right? We have kinkier hair. So we're not the attractive girls. And that's what you're asking for. And I understand that. And that's why I'm standing here in front of you. And so that's why when I'm talking to those students, it's just being able to connect and relate to them because they don't have anyone. They're not asking their teachers these questions. They're not asking their parents these questions. And so from a recruiter standpoint, it's understanding not obviously that point, but like something as simple as a name, because that's also something that I have to talk about. My name is Kamaria. My resume says K. My resume says K because I need you to meet me as Kamaria, but you might not if you looked at Kamaria on that paper. So it says K so that I can get to the door so that you can meet me. And so that's something that we talk about. So there's so many levels to this. Right. And these are all things, like I said, that I'm super transparent about and super open about when I'm talking to students from high school all the way up to professionals because it's loaded.
Action packed.
I love it. I love it.
Love the energy.
Right. Yes. Ooh. Like we got to have you. We've got so much more to talk to you about. We haven't even scratched the surface. So we got to have you back on a Thursday.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
We'll get you back on for sure.
Yeah. All right, Rich. Well, first, before you go to your questions, I just want the viewers to see this amazing jacket that you have on. Please,
Tiger Santa. Do I have to turn around?
Please.
Yes.
Are you ready?
All right, stand up a little bit though.
Gotta come up a little bit.
Yes, Tiger Santa.
Yeah. All right, Tiger Santa's here.
And the shark. And the shark.
And the shark, of course. Look at this. There's nothing in the shark yet. So if you guys want to donate to my stocking, I'll give you my address.
Stocking. Okay? I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, that's a stocking.
That's okay. See? The first thing I want to talk about, Kay. She started Twitter. Who's her first follower on Twitter?
What in the world?
Today. And I hear you got more than one now, right?
Do I? Let me check. Yeah, I've been on Twitter for literally like a week. So I'm very new to the Twitter scene. I'm brand spanking new. And
look and see if anyone else on this live is following you.
I'm gonna go. I have share this live too. So look at this. I have one follower. The Staffing Shark is following me.
You have more than one because I follow you.
Do you? Okay, let me refresh. Hold on. Refresh. What do we have here?
I even tagged you. You even have mentions, but you even have mentions.
Well, it only tells me I have one follower. It's not. It doesn't like you, I guess. Twitter doesn't like you. It's being mean. It's only telling me I have one follower. But I am following 31 people, so I probably look like a stalker because I follow 31 people. That's okay.
No, that's what
we have you on the show. Right. You're gonna have about 2,000 probably, right?
Yes.
Well, I would love followers. I am on Twitter as The Career K and Instagram is
Look at this. Following. You actually have 31 followers and you're following 91 people, unless you have more than one Twitter account.
No, that's not me.
Yes, it is. K Gravesande, consultant.
Me?
Joined November 2017. That's not you.
That is not me.
Well, you have another.
Is there another Twitter?
No, this is you. This is you.
Oh boy. Okay, well, let me go find it. What is it?
You see it? Do I have it in the camera?
That's me. You do. And we're on Twitter Live right now. So where is that?
On Twitter.
Are there any tweets?
Yes.
Oh
shoot.
That's what I'm saying. I even tagged you. So
maybe you have two of them linked together.
I'll correct that. I'll correct that and make sure.
Wait, where is it? I need to find that. Maybe I started Twitter a long time ago and I just didn't know it.
In 2017, it says you joined in 2017. What's your new Twitter handle? Is it the career?
That's
career
it.
tag? Okay, then I'll follow that one too. All right.
That old Twitter. Where's that at blog? This is
already. See what happens on this show? We are helping people with Twitter and everything else. You know what?
And once again, Kirsten Gregg
tweets. Wow, I don't even remember this.
That just shows you how well I data mine. I am the feds. No, I'm teasing. No, I'm teasing. Please don't unfollow me, people. I am not the feds.
Please don't unfollow me.
Oh boy.
I need to get rid of this old. That's probably what it's funny. So I tried to get Career K as a name and it was like, it's already taken by yourself, dummy. Because I was like, I can't get Career K. Apparently, I joined
too much holiday
fun, and have completely forgotten how to get in this account.
All right, Kay, you ready for some holiday fun now? And then
I love holiday fun.
And what's great is you already have 2 Twitter accounts. You just found out you have a new gift for holidays, right? You got 2 accounts.
I have 2 accounts. Look at that! I'm amazed at myself.
All right, here we go. Are you ready? Drum roll. Favorite holiday cartoon?
I just like holiday episodes of my favorite cartoons. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So my top. Oh, that's hard. Okay. I love Hey Arnold.
I've never seen that.
It's a 90s cartoon.
No, I know who Arnold is. I see all the memes.
Yes, I love Hey Arnold. And I love the holiday episode. Football head guy.
Mm-hmm.
I also watch anime with my kids. They're big fans. Right now they've got me watching Hunter x Hunter and Dragon Ball Z. Kai. So they don't really have holiday episodes, but those are probably in my top 3 at the moment.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, here we go. Holiday cookie or dessert?
Ooh, Snickerdoodles. That counts for sure. Snickerdoodles are my fave. It used to be sugar cookies until I became a mom, and now my kids decorate them. So, gonna admit, I don't like sugar cookies in the holidays anymore.
Rich will send you some sugar cookies.
Well, they douse them with like icing and sprinkles and like nastiness.
Rich has some basic ones that even look like communion wafers, so he'll send you some of those.
I want to go the simple route, but when I have to pretend to be Santa, I'm like. Because they're just.
I'm gonna throw my cookie out there. Please tell me you like peanut butter blossoms with the Hershey Kiss in the middle.
I'm not a peanut butter person.
Ooh. How about lady fingers?
Those are the long, like
with the
shortbread ones, right?
We used to make them with clothespins. My grandma used to make them with a clothespin. Remember that, KG?
I do not.
Oh,
I know what a lady finger is, but I've never seen it made with a clothespin, though.
Yeah, you put foil around it, and then you put the dough around it, and then it bakes, and then you fill it with the white cream in the middle.
Okay. Yeah. I learned something new again today.
I got a little bit of Martha Stewart in me.
Every day I learn something new.
Okay, here we go. Favorite holiday movie, and I know your kids got one for sure.
Yeah, I have watched The Grinch with Jim Carrey about 7,000 times already. So they love that one. Not the animated one. The one with Jim Carrey actually decorated and all the Cindy Who. Yeah, that one.
That's what I tried to do with my bun today. Because I am the self-proclaimed Grinch.
You are from Whoville, right?
I am from Whoville.
From Whoville. I like it. Yeah, it's a classic. I like that one, but my husband loves Home Alone 1 and 2. And so we have watched those 2 movies as well, probably 5 or 6 times so far. So I think those are my top 3.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, I got one more, then KG's going to jump in. Favorite toy growing up at Christmas time? What was your favorite toy?
I was a Barbie girl.
I'm a Barbie girl.
I was a Barbie girl. I can distinctively remember having like all the Barbie stuff, Barbies in the house and the car and the everything. If it was Barbie, I had it. So I would say Barbie and all the works.
Barbie.
So do you like that song, by the way? Do you like the Barbie song?
No.
Thank you. That was cheesy as could be. Remember the Barbie song? It came out?
Yeah, I just sang it.
Yeah, I know. I'm a Barbie girl.
No. I did not like the Barbie song. I don't even know why I liked I don't know. That was my thing. Barbie and Winnie the Pooh, actually. I have a obnoxious collection of Winnie the Pooh dolls currently in my mother's house.
Very nice.
I won't take them.
Not even for your little ones?
No, I have boys. My boys are not. I have an almost 8-year-old, and my son will be 5 on Christmas Eve, actually. Aww. And yeah, it's they called him. All my friends called him Baby Eve when he was born.
Baby Eve.
And but they are not into that. They are, because they're boys and maybe they're 3 years apart. They're into wrestling and sports.
Okay.
And so yeah, my house is full of dinosaurs and WWE and football, baseball, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Let me guess. Do they wrestle each other?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I have a very strict no wrestling other people's children policy, because you don't know how other people's kids are going to do with that.
Oh,
right.
That's great.
So I let them, choke slam each other all day long. Totally fine. Y'all go ahead. But when we go to other people's house, we definitely have those conversations in the car that,
no wrestling.
We don't do that here. You do that at home because you guys can handle it with each other. But we don't know how they're going to do. So we don't do that here.
I'm just going to warn you, when they turn 12, do not buy them boxing gloves. My mom bought me boxing gloves.
That is great exercise.
I knocked my brother's tooth out, his baby tooth, when I was 12 years old.
Yeah, but that's great exercise.
They have boxing gloves already. They have a full boxing whatever that punching bag. They have one of those downstairs.
A heavy bag.
Yeah, they've got one. I mean, they are, because they're 3 years apart, right? So they are very active little boys. They both play soccer and baseball and basketball. I mean, my husband is one of 3 boys as well, and so my mother-in-law told me a long time ago, you better just buckle up. So I just let it go. You got to let them have fun. And I always tell them, though, you guys know the rule. There's no broken bones, there's no blood, and there's nothing broken. That is as in, like, nothing in my house breaks.
No, understood.
No beds breaking, no holes in the wall. That's kind of the rule around here. You guys can play and whatever, but nothing serious.
I could picture him now getting a sleeper hold and one's passing out.
Not yet.
Please don't put that out into the atmosphere.
Right? No,
I've tried that before. It works.
The baby's about to have his birth. Let's let the baby get to his birthday next week.
Baby Eve. They did put him, when he was born, they put him in a baby stocking cap and a big old Santa stocking. It was very cute.
Oh my goodness. That's so adorable. All right. Favorite holiday beverage, adult or otherwise?
So Crown Royal makes this you've had it, clearly?
He's about, I believe someone else has mentioned it.
I'm a Crown boy. Yes.
They have their holiday, or it might not be holiday, but it's seasonal collection.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the one that they released this time of year is really good. And my cousin actually said it best. He said it smells like, or it tastes like you're sitting in front of a fire. And it does. It's good. It really is. It's one of those,
it's got that oaky taste, which is
I don't what it's like caramel or something. I don't know what it is, but it's good. Now I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna Google it real fast. The Crown Royal.
Wow, here we go. Talk about whiskey. I go, oh man.
holiday
whiskey lullaby.
It's delicious. Whatever it is. Oh, salted caramel. That's what it is. It's Crown Royal salted caramel, and it's pretty good. Like it's.
Now, do you drink it on the rocks? Do you mix it, or you drink it on the rocks, or what? Or
it's good enough. So I'm not a drinker. First of all, drinking makes me sleepy. But if I'm like the boys are asleep and we're trying to watch The Office, and I don't want to be HR, I can probably sip it with like a lot of ice, and get through an episode or two and be okay. Like it's one of those kind of drinks. I don't have to mix it too heavily. So I would say that's probably my favorite right now.
All right. So here we go. Before the best question. Favorite holiday song?
Well, it's got to be Mariah Carey. That's the first song everybody says. Actually, you know what though? That's a lie. It's not Mariah Carey. I love that song. I do. I love All I Want for Christmas. But I have actually been playing Santa Baby, the original.
Is that Eartha Kitt?
By Eartha Kitt, yes, by Eartha Kitt. I have been playing Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt when I cook. That I don't know. I just love it. It makes me happy. So I think that one's gonna be my favorite holiday song this season.
All right. And then to round it out.
This is my favorite. I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Fruitcake, yes or no?
No.
Thank you.
Absolutely not.
We have
another one says no.
So what is this? This is day what? Day
7. So we have 6 no's and 1 yay.
We have
someone said yes?
Yes.
Yesterday.
No. My husband is Caribbean. His family's from Guyana. And so we actually, and I'll ask you guys, what is your holiday food? Because our holiday food is pepper pot, which is a Caribbean tradition. They eat it once a year at Christmas.
So I don't have a holiday food. We pretty much eat the same stuff we ate on Thanksgiving. Like the turkey, my mother, when we used to have our dinners, they were at my parents' house. So it'd be turkey, roast beef, ham,
everything,
dressing, mac and cheese, yams, like I said, the same food from Thanksgiving, which is why I don't eat Thanksgiving food. I eat fried chicken for Thanksgiving. Because I know I'm going to have it. I know I'm going to have it for Christmas. So, yeah.
All right. On my side, we're big on nut rolls. I don't know. That's a Pittsburgh thing. Apricot rolls and nut rolls.
What's a nut roll?
Like dough wrapped up with like a nut spread in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Sugar on top.
So I'm surprised he didn't say something with French fries. So let me just tell you this. Like apparently Pittsburgh has this deal where they put French fries on everything. Like it's like a staple or something. I don't know.
We have the Permane sandwich. I don't know if your husband's ever been to Pittsburgh, but it's coleslaw, French fries, and like roast beef, corned beef.
Wow.
Incredible. With white whole bread, and you dump Red Devil on it 3 a.m. when you leave a bar, a club, whatever.
My stomach hurts.
Well, if you ever come to Pittsburgh, you got to try one. I'm telling you. The many brothers out there, it's incredible.
I trust that you like that, and I'm going to let you have it. I don't know if I can get that one down. They have the Italian sandwich up in Jersey, which is a Philly with French fries on it, and that's close enough. So, did your husband grow up in New Jersey? Yeah. So
where?
His parent, Newark.
Okay, that's North Jersey. Because I was like, I'm from the Philadelphia area, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
His parents
are literally from Guyana. They came to the States. His older brother was born in Guyana. He's the second, and he was born in Newark, where they resided and he was raised. So obviously they still have all of their Caribbean cultures and everything.
Yes, absolutely.
And they actually still go every year.
So then I'm going to have you ask him, and you can report back to us post broadcast. So the person that was on yesterday is Chilean. So she said that every, bodega has this apparently superior fruitcake. She sent me a picture today, but it made me throw up. So no, I'm just teasing. But she's like, they heat it up, they put, put butter on it. They're like, it's the most amazing thing, and blah, blah, blah. So ask your husband if he visits the bodegas in Newark or New York City, if he would eat the fruitcake, the authentic fruitcake from there, please.
I mean, I worked in New York for 3 years, right around the corner from a bodega that I ate many, many lunches from, and I don't remember ever eating a fruitcake once. So, not saying she's wrong, but I'm just saying I ate black cake, which is also Caribbean.
What is black cake?
So black cake is basically they take, I feel bad saying this out loud. So they take fruit and they soak it in rum for like literally a week.
Okay.
And they smash it and they put the fruit in like a chocolate cake. And so it's like a chocolate cake, but it's a rum cake. And it literally tastes like rum. So like if you give it to kids, they'll taste the alcohol in it. But it's called black cake. So it is a fruit cake, right? But it's called black cake and it's Caribbean.
Okay. It has alcohol in it, so that's okay.
It has a lot of alcohol in it. Yes, you taste the alcohol. It's very, very strong.
I'm not eating it. I don't think that fruit's supposed to be jelly like that. I'm sorry. I can't do it.
Oh, man.
I'm not a huge black cake fan. But yeah, I still say no.
Okay, the last thing I got to ask you, Skyline Chili, you got to love it, right? From Cincinnati.
So we have Skyline and Gold Star. Everyone in the city is divided. Either you love Skyline or you love Gold Star. You don't usually love both. I like Skyline. I hate Gold Star. My own personal opinion. My family doesn't like either. Nobody else in my house will eat either one.
What's the difference? Can you tell us real quick?
So yeah, so Gold Star is so Skyline uses cinnamon in their recipe. Everyone knows this. And their chili is thinner. That's Skyline. Yes, Gold Star, they have a thicker, heartier, meatier chili. I think their chili is too sweet, so I don't like theirs. But that's in general. I mean, they make the same exact products, right? Same exact thing. It's just their chili recipe is different. So I tend to go for Skyline. I hate Gold Star. I literally think it tastes disgusting, but there's literally divided in the city. Some people, like, there are people that are like, I will never eat Skyline. And I'm like, that with Gold Star. I'm like, if you tell me you've got Gold Star, I'm like, I'm not eating that crap. It's gross. So that's just how, I mean, you're either on the Skyline side or the Gold Star side. There are very few people who flip-flop and eat both because the recipes are very, very different.
Okay. Well, we got to get somebody from Texas on to tell us about chili too. We got to get a balance. We got to balance. Yeah,
They'll probably tell you they hate, like I said, my husband from the East Coast, he won't eat either because he's like, this isn't chili. It's not chili at all. Like he won't eat it at all. So
good old Cincinnati, gotta love it.
I know everyone's got their thing, we're all quirky. We all got our thing, but what do you do?
Wow. So again,
you guys me want some salted caramel. I need to go to like Kroger and get me That's the best question ever, because now I'm like, what am I doing tonight on this fine Wednesday? Like my son doesn't have school tomorrow.
She doesn't drink. She comes on our show. Now she wants to drink.
Right. What have we done?
I've got responsibilities. I cannot have a Crown Royal. I need to get ready for my son's got remote learning because that's also super fun.
Oh, well, we have enjoyed our time with you, Kay.
Thank you. So much fun.
All the viewers, please make sure that you follow her at the Career K.
I'm gonna clean it up because I don't know how. I mean, I'm assuming Twitter will let me deactivate the other one, right? If I go and be like, this is me, but I don't know how to get into it. So can you turn it off?
Okay.
I don't know.
And please come back tomorrow for day 8. No. Yes, 8.
8. Crazy.
12 days of recruiting. We'll have another amazing guest. It's just getting better and better and better and better every single day. thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow with a new costume, right, KG? Happy holidays.